Hello and welcome to TVC Breakfast this Saturday, and of course, it's the entertainment segment. I am your regular host, Theophilus Elaman. As usual, I have my co-host with me, Adebanke Odunui. Welcome, Adebanke.
Thank you. You're welcome also to the program.
So how has the week been? A lot of controversy in the entertainment industry. Well, you know what I'm talking about.
I'll see you after the show.
Okay, just talk about that.
Anyways, I know that you're referring to Zainab Bayero. Well, she is a very special human being. I watched the full interview that she did with the Honest Bunch, and she contradicted herself a lot. So I think that what she needs to do is to find herself and to decide what her values will be. Because she said this, then she said that, then they do almost started to speak about her mother and say, your mama, before you now retracted and started to ask questions again. She's a very special human being, but she just needs to know who she is. And her accounts have been taken down. TikTok was taken down. Facebook was taken down. I don't know about Instagram.
Instagram was taken down. She has opened several. She has opened another one. They've taken her. You know, each time she opens, people report and they take it down and all.
But don't you think that we Nigerians sometimes we pay attention to things that we know are just cloud chasing? What do you think?
Well, people say it's cloud chasing, but for me, I see it as she expressing herself. I read something earlier where, excuse me, husband material was saying that before the recording, she was quite normal and okay, and suddenly when the recording started, they noticed a switch. She began to say those things that she said. I think it also boils down from her experience in the past, probably from family, from friends, from relationships and all of that, talking about the fact that a man that wants to have a relationship with her in the evening, in the morning, should be able to give out,
up to 10 million naira. Woof! That's
what she's looking for is not on earth.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, also the verdicts on the government saying that no more ritual scenes in our movies. What do you think about
no more ritual scenes, no more smoking,
no more
and all of that? Yes, it's long term coming actually, because people see this. For instance, you watch movies of Kanayo back then.
Back then.
Yeah, and now those scenes, it looks like it has pinned on him. Once they remember him, they remember some of those scenes.
Yes, but then they were just movies. I like to think of, okay, they create a scene where it's a ritual scene, for example, at the beginning of the movie. And at the end, we can now see repercussion. Maybe they run mad or they fall sick or something. So it's also like a story. You get, like, oh, if you do this, this happens. So I don't know. I think I'm
But yet again, realize that
it.
many people watch movies for fun.
True.
Yeah.
So that's another angle.
All right, so let's move now to our interview segment. And of course, we have two individuals who have taken a step to write their names in the sands of the Nigerian film industry. And of course, our first guest is Zainab Ado Bayero. She is a documentary filmmaker, which our newest work we just saw before the program started. The Emir, Portrait of Ado Bayero, is an illuminating documentary that delves into the remarkable life of one of Nigeria's, Africa's most esteemed and influential monarchs. And the film traces his journey from being a prince born into a nation dynasty to his historic ascension to the throne of the Kingdom of Kano. Zainab joins us now. Hello, how are you doing? So, welcome on the show. You, first of all, for context, who is Ado Bayero to you?
He is my half-brother.
He's your half-brother. Okay, just wanted to put that into proper context. And so, you've done a documentary on Ado Bayero. Who is your father?
Yeah, my late dad.
Your late dad. He died 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so, this documentary, what's the reason for this?
For this documentary?
Yes.
This journey began in 2022. I was thinking of different ideas. I wanted to work on a documentary. And so I was, after a discussion with my mom, she suggested that I should work on my dad's life. At first, I was a bit hesitant about that. I was thinking, I don't know if that's the right way. And After much deliberation, I figured, yeah, it's a great idea because my father led a pretty remarkable life. You know, he was the longest reigning monarch in the history of Kano. And Kano Emirate, as you can see, is incredible and iconic emirate in the history of Africa. So having to tell the story of a man who made history in this incredible city and this emirate was definitely going to be thought-provoking and a powerful tale. So that's why I embarked on this journey.
It's indeed, excuse me, this is indeed a powerful tale. Is this also an attempt, or is this an attempt to put history into perspective?
Absolutely, yes. When I began this journey, I've always been someone who loves history, even in school. You know, going back in time, learning about so many people, you know, history can, you know, teach you so much. You know, when you talk about the Cuban Missile Crisis, you know, the First World War, what triggered the First World War was like the assassination of Ferdinand. You know, when you think about situations like this, you kind of understand more about, you know, the human spirit and how people and choices can change the course of history. And so I decided that my father's story was important for future generations and people in Africa and the world to know that we have incredible men in Africa.
I understand that this is your first documentary. So how was your experience?
Yeah, this was my first project in movie making. And when I took up the challenge to, you know, do this, I knew it was going to be very challenging. But at the same time, I set my mind up. I was like, I want to do this. And telling my father's story, you know, and Kano is a very conservative society.
It is.
And as a woman, who doesn't really cover up in the in the traditional sense, I knew it was going to rub some people the wrong way. But I figured that this was my calling, and I decided I would do it. It was challenging from pre-production, production to post-production, but it was worth it. It was great. I enjoyed every step of it.
So, in looking at what's happening currently in Kano State, what's your view on the situation, looking at the fact that this documentary talks about Ado Bayero, talks about the Kano Emirate and all of that?
Yeah, you know, when I was done with this documentary last year, I had no idea that stuff like this would happen. And coincidentally, this is actually happening on the 10th anniversary, you know, of my father's demise. And then just a few days to that point, this kind of just erupted in Kano. And it was like, whoa, how ironic is this? You know, I think that's why this documentary is great, because it portrays a different kind of ruler. You know, a man who was dignified and highly revered and respected, you know, who embodied the virtues of what that Kano Emir represents. It's not about chaos. It's not about political intrigues and stuff like that. It's about respecting that ancient institution, the Kano Emirate. And that's who my father was, you know, a great monarch. But watching this play out in this way is really shocking to me and unfortunate, and it's not nice. That's the truth. It's not right, and I think they should try and come to an armistice, you know, to end this as soon as possible, because this is about the Kano Emirate and what it represents. It's a great dynasty, an Asian dynasty, and it should be respected.
Okay. But I wanted to ask, obviously your take is that, anyway, I will not ask that question on air, I'll ask it after. But what was the highest point for you during the making of this project? What was the highest point? What was the lowest point? I know you mentioned something about your dressing. When you came, I was like, are you Zainab? Because I expected the whole house, regalia and everything. So I really want to know that, the highest and lowest point for you.
You know, every part of it was challenging. Like, even just beginning to write the script and, you know, be directed and produced, it was all crazy. And I was shooting in Kano. And so, you know, something like this has never really been done, you know, so it was really daunting. It was a great task and a great burden for me. But when I was working on it, you know, when I was done shooting and getting the archival footages and putting it together and editing, you know, choosing every part of, you know, his life that I wanted to come on screen, it was really the high point, you know, because seeing him, you know, in those videos, like he was coming back to life, you know, even though he's gone. So when I was done with like the last shot, I just had this sigh of relief, like, wow, I've done it. I've created something here.
Or when can we watch it?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it on any streaming platforms because I believe it deserves a global audience, but I've not gotten it there yet. But that's my main goal. But I think I could get it on cinemas too for people to watch. So that's my aim for now.
Well, Kano is a great city. I dare say because I grew up in Kano at a point.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to the best school and all of that. It's at State Road.
Okay.
Close to the Emir's Palace.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you know the school, local law nursery and primary school.
Yes.
You know it. Good.
Yes.
So it's one of the best schools. Okay, yeah. So though I started learning Hausa around the bit, but just like myself.
You're proud.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. Okay, so Kano is beautiful. How is it now? I know it's very beautiful growing up there. Bata, Yankaba, all those areas.
I actually went to school around that Yankaba. Samadi International School.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Nice. So, you see? Thank you very much, Zainab, for coming and talking to us this morning.
I appreciate it.
It's been great having you. So the documentary comes up when?
No, I don't have a date yet.
No date yet.
But
okay.
As soon as it's ready.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
All right, so it's still the Saturday Breakfast Show now.